Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it, and leave us a positive comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to stick around to the end because I'm going to read a few of my favorite positive comments. Somebody asked me a really amazing question, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. The question says, how do Aquarius build emotional connections if they don't know how? This is something I have heard from so many people, either from the Aquarius who can't build the connection or from somebody who's trying to build a connection with an Aquarius and can't. I've heard this same thing time and time again. How can you build an emotional connection? And you see, the thing about it is this. If you recognize that you are struggling to build emotional connections, there is a reason for that. Generally, it's because, especially if you're an Aquarius, it's generally because you're detached. And if you are detached, you are detached for a reason. There's something in you, there's some trauma, there's some event, there's something in your mind, there's something that's making you not connect with other people. There's a reason. So if you don't know how, you have to figure out why. This is where analyzing yourself, therapy, psychotherapy, these kind of things come into play. Spirituality, that's where all of this comes into play. That's how it's helpful. Because what happens is that you say to yourself, you know, I've wanted to build an emotional connection on several different occasions, and I wasn't able to. And I've been here myself. I've asked myself this exact same question. And I'm like, why? Why is that? And I realized in my case, it's because I was remaining detached because I had been hurt in the past and I didn't want to be hurt again. So if I remain detached, you can't hurt me. It's impossible. I ain't attached to you. If you here or not, it doesn't matter. Now, that's intelligent, and Aquarius are very logical, and that does keep you safe, Aquarius. But it also keeps you from loving anybody. It keeps you from being able to be in an emotional connection when you want to emotionally connect. When you don't want to, it's fine. But if you meet somebody and you like them, and being detached is ingrained in you, and you feel like you can't get past that, you could miss opportunities like that. You could miss love like that. So if you find yourself in that predicament, now it's time for you to change that. Now it's time for you to be like, you know what? Okay, that detachment kept me safe for this amount of time. Now it's time for me to learn how to come away from that. It's time for me to learn how to attach when I want to. Because nobody's saying that you're going to then attach to everybody. Like, okay, I'm out of my detached phase. I'm ready to attach to anybody and everybody. That's not going to happen. It's still going to be people that you like. I don't want to. It's still not going to be people that are. There's still going to be people who are not safe to attach to. That's still going to happen. But when you want to, now you'll be able to. And for many of us, it does come from doing emotional, spiritual, and mental work. You cannot get past this work. If you are a person who has a problem with building emotional connections, if you are a person who has trauma, if you are a person who has things that need to be healed, you cannot get past this work. You can't. Not if you want emotional connections. You're going to have to go to therapy. You're going to have to get some self-help books. You're going to have to start getting into your spiritual self. You're going to have to start healing the things that made you detached in the first place. You're going to have to look at those situations and those people, those exes, those parents, those caregivers, those people who harmed you and taught you to detach. And it's 100%, in my opinion, it's 100% imperative, because I don't think it's fair for you to allow those people to take those experiences from you. So if your ex cheated on you in 2012 and had a baby with somebody else and moved across the country, and you're still holding it in and you're letting it allow you to be emotionally disconnected from everybody, you've let your ex take from you. They've already taken from you by cheating on you. They've already taken from you by, moving off and having kids with somebody else when they had a commitment to you. They've already taken from you in that instance. But now, 10 years later, they're continuing to take from you because you haven't been able to get past it enough to let somebody else care about you. So now, not only have they robbed you of whatever you were building with them, the investment you were making with them, but now they've robbed you from investing with anybody else. And that's not fair. That's the one thing that made me start to work on healing myself, was that I realized that I let Voldemort take from me the ability to love another person and be loved by another person. And that's not fair. You don't get to victimize me, ruin my life, scar me, and keep me from moving the hell on with other people. That's not cool. So my thing is that the best way for you to be able to move on with your life is to heal that trauma. So if you don't know how to build emotional connections because you're detached for any number of reasons, because that can happen for a number of reasons. Some people never had a bad relationship and they're detached because they had any kind of bad relationships can lead to that. For example, let's say you're a man and you and your mother don't have a good relationship. Maybe she wasn't a good mom, or maybe she did her best, but her best just wasn't good enough. And you never were able to come to terms or heal that situation. Moving forward, dealing with your love life is going to be hard for you when dealing with the opposite sex, or if you're gay, the same sex. But if you're trying to go out there and love and have a family, it's going to be difficult because of that. So sometimes you're going to need to heal that original wound with your mother. A lot of times you're going to have to go back. So if you're an Aquarius and you're like me and you find yourself having a hard time building emotional connections with people, start with some type of self-help. Start with some type of therapeutic exercises. I recommend going to a therapist, quite frankly. But a lot of times people aren't comfortable with that. So getting something from the library, from the self-help section, can be very beneficial to you. You guys know I use a lot of the same authors. I love Iyanla Vanzant. I love the stuff by Louise L. Hay. And the list goes on and on and on. But those are my two top favorites. So get yourself some self-help books and start working on healing yourself. Then you'll find yourself able to build emotional connections when you want to. Okay? All right, guys. Now we're going to look at some of my favorite comments. Mystical Studaway. I like that. Mystical Studaway said, "So sorry to hear about your uncle. I lost an uncle during the pandemic as well, and I have another one in the hospital now. Keeping you and your family in my prayers." Well, Mystical, I'm keeping you and your family in my prayers too. And I ask all of you out there to keep Mystical Studaway and her uncles in your prayers as well. You know, during this pandemic, a lot of us are going to lose. A lot of us have lost a number of things. People, money, resources, all kinds of things. But if we can keep ourselves positive and we can keep ourselves prayed up, we'll make it to live to tell the tale. To me, that's the most important part, you know? Staying positive, staying productive, and living to move on to the next thing. Okay? All right, Mystical Studaway, thank you so much. And the last one came from Katina Hobson. She says, I love your crown, very pretty. Thank you so much. I love wearing crowns. I have a lot of them, as you guys know. I wear them all the time. I love crowns. I love the flower crowns. I love headpieces and things like that. And I don't get to wear them, you know, just to the grocery store. So it's really cool to wear them while I'm doing Ask an Aquarius. So guys, it's time for me to get going. If you would like to get a reading done, email me because I will hook you up. And come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.